destruction.
Hollywood previous shot.
I missed it.
We're in the game. T-side for TyLoo and
yeah, and we'll see how. I mean, Liquid. I think all they can do is play their own game. We'll see how it works out for them. For now, it's T's getting the kills in the pistol round. The Tech 9 spam not going to work out, and all of a sudden, advantages turn around. TyLoo not really pushing with their last two players just yet, and Liquid will reposition. Stanislaw making his way towards the library area. And they'll just wait to see what TyLoo have to offer with their last two players. DD, the king of anti-eco frags. See if he can keep up his good behavior on Inferno later on. But for now, it might be TyLoo on a force by an eco if they can't make this work with a man disadvantage.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing when the AWP gets into the hands of Mo. He's pretty good with it. Well, we'll see if he can be good with the USP here. There's a quick engagement spotted by Alish. Alish doesn't get any tagging done onto Mo, however. DD's there to try to trade, but the smoke goes down. That sort of prevents the trade attempt. That actually might make DD's life slightly more difficult here as he now gets onto the bomb site. And he can try to plant, but the problem is that CT could just rush him, so he's got to be very careful. He's going to fake it initially and rush through the smoke himself, going absolutely mental there. The spin there from DD somehow finds himself the kill. Down to one versus one now as we get a re-smoke and a plant now forced in that smoke by DD as Stanislaw finds his way around the smoke. And it will all be over. But at least he got a bomb plant as an additional kill or two.
Yeah, it's a job well done, all things considered. I think his mouse, there's sometimes, like if you have a piece of dust on your mouse or something, all of a sudden you just start staring at the floor, and his mouse just went straight rock bottom, but he still managed to get the kill. So, you know, a tough task. But worst case scenario is ticks off for TyLoo, which means there are AKs if they want them in the following round. They haven't bought anything just yet, 5 Glocks. So I am curious to see if anything will be invested. Seems it's going to be... Okay, here we go. Some pistols will come out, but they'll be waiting for the AKs for the most part. No flashes or anything, just the odd pistol here and there. So they'll try to do some damage. See Liquid's approach. Yeah, I think Liquid's idea will be not to do anything crazy. Don't overextend, just play your own game, and that should be enough to take you over the line. I mean, just due to experience at top tier Counter-Strike, and again, I think like TyLoo or a Chinese team's biggest issue is the level of experience in international Counter-Strike. The more they can absorb that, the better. I'm sure they'll be spending some time in Europe in the coming weeks. They'll try to make as much of that as they can. 2 kills, considering their investment, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, Mo can still do more too with the Deagle in this position. All it takes is one well-placed bullet for a frag, of course, so they need to be wary. They do have the bomb under control, and the CT presence is in middle now as well. So it should be very difficult for Mo to get anything extra here. I think it would be that they would make a mistake or that he makes a spectacular shot, but I'm really hoping from Liquid that we'll see a very strong fundamental, like the emphasis be on strong fundamentals as opposed to anything else, as opposed to trying to bully TyLoo with skill, as opposed to trying to, you know, just force certain risky plays onto TyLoo. Just allow them to make the mistakes.
I have to just say something. Like, there are 17 seconds left. He's only got a deagle, and he has a reasonable chance of not dying before the time runs out. The bomb is over towards top mid, so I don't know why he's going towards B in a situation. At this point, the CTs don't even need to face him. So he's probably going to die via timeout.
Oh dear. Oh so, no, it's all gone very wrong.
Yeah, so again, the lack of experience. That's round number 2.
I did not expect that to happen.
$2,100. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, maybe he was expecting a flank, but he's spending way too much time in CT spawn looking for players towards B when he's the last man for his team and the bomb is next to Boiler.
Yeah. You kind of want your teammates to like just shout at you at that point. It's like, dude,
that's the problem.
Go die.
Yeah, but that's the issue. You know, coaches can't talk during the game. Peacemaker can't coach them anyway. And his team, again, it's like it's too much Chinese Counter-Strike, not enough international Counter-Strike, which allows errors like that to happen.
Yeah, that is a big problem. Wow, what an oversight. Either way, we'll see if Mo can get any damage done with the Deagle. And talking about the approach of Liquid, this round they're going for a lot of aggro towards Banana here, and this could actually be quite good because TyLoo, they're not even interested in contesting it. They're just going to go straight into A before the rotation from Liquid can actually happen. So they've actually got a good counterplay here. They just have to be very fast on the entries, and they're doing that. Using the numbers, trading effectively. They're in on top of the bomb site, and the plant is going to happen right now.
Damn, Mo don't need no rifle. 1D onto a Liege, and they are winning some Angels and then some on this A bomb site, so they make it work despite the bumpy start in that last round. JDM just holding an angle. He's obviously got no intention of pushing, but sometimes this can help you save. Just holding a strong angle to get one kill, then starting to back off gives you more breathing room while that bomb continues to tick. And as you can see, he's going to play with the def cam and give himself some more breathing room. And indeed, the flank is coming in, so that's going to work out.
And this is like goes back to my point a little bit. This is just my preferred approach, right? Whenever I was playing tournaments in the past and so on, it's just whenever I'm up against someone I don't know about, then it means that they're probably not on the top level, in that situation, or or whatever. Like there's no experience against them, generally speaking, so you don't know what to expect. So you just play like very fundamentally, because there TyLoo basically did a strategy which is like a perfect counterplay to three aggressive on B at the start of the round, which is not necessarily a safe play. If of course, if that happens, if let's say TyLoo understand, maybe they've done their research, maybe they understand that Liquid like to open like that on Inferno, and that's how they do their CT side very often, or maybe they just want to play a super gambly style against the better team and get lucky, and that's what just happened potentially there. They managed to get a very good round against what Liquid opened with. So Liquid, let's see how they adjust now, how they feel out how TyLoo want to play their T side, because right now they don't know yet. There's not enough rounds that have passed for them to understand the style of TyLoo today.
Somebody's AK is called Is Your Nightmare, which is kind of cool because then it's like somebody is your nightmare. But who is it? Stanislaw towards Arch. Double short play. Nobody... Okay, they are watching balcony from the short position, so quick support can be had around the boiler area, should it be required. Jumping around towards short, maybe taking him by surprise, but not quite. Twist of a 2K after he will get traded. Stanislaw's there towards Arch, but doesn't have the range with the UMP. Awkward positioning for JDM. Especially because they're exposed to that top mid area. Now they get smoked out of the position, and the roles are almost reversed. The bomb's in the smoke, however. JDM trying to play close, not working out for him. And there goes the bomb.
Really interesting approach on this round so far from TyLoo. Just diving out of balcony, pretty much everybody without the smokes on the site. And now we have just UMP retake. That is not the best situation in the world, but they do have some good running accuracy on that gun, and the ranges are going to work pretty well for the UMP. So we'll see if Liquid can do this. They certainly have the tools, but no flashbangs, and
no
I don't see a kit either. Yeah, that's a really big problem. And now the aim battles are coming into play. These picks up the AK, can't win the last battle against Mo, and that's going to be the round for TyLoo. So
I guess they didn't have the tools.
I don't know who it was. We saw this round not so long ago at ECS finals, but the difference was that the attacking T side, they put a wall of smokes on the bomb site, so that when they come out of the balcony, all they have to worry about is like the pit player potentially, which was like quite a cool idea. But there was like without the smokes, and they made it work.
2-2, Liquid on pistols with 2 HG grenades on Twist and Unleashed to the Banana players, and DD is moving forward straight into the grenades, as is HZ. Damage done, but that's a full rotation from Liquid, so they're going to show presence by way of high explosive grenades towards B, then rotate the entire team towards A. So what do TyLoo make of this? A smoke top mid, top Banana actually, and top mid. So now there's no action anywhere. Do they expect to stack? Let's see if the bait works for Liquid. TyLoo still creeping like DDK in the club towards the B-bomb site.
Gotta find a new one, man. You've been using that for years now.
I know, I just wanted to needle you a little bit. Okay, tweet me, where should DDK be creeping? We've done the club, so where else going to be? Creeping in the library? Creeping behind the librarians? I don't know.
Wow.
I'm clutching at straws.
Where is this going?
Clutching at straws.
Where is this going? We've got TyLoo slowly discovering that the B site is for free. And this is, again, I think I mentioned this in one of the last casts. It's really nice, like when you're in this round, when you know that the CTs will be saving fully, just get one of your teammates on a Mac 10 here. It's they could have done that, and it definitely provides a lot of additional safety and, you know, just having that one expendable player that can just go fast around the corners. You know, if you're not prepared to Molotov everything, it's really nice. They will get it done though with AKs. They'll find the free bomb site. They won't lose anybody just yet though. Just the initial damage from HEs on Banana, and TyLoo will be happy here. I mean, this is great too because Liquid don't have anything. They actually full saves. There's only a PT50 and that's basically it. So it's not even a massive loss to not get the frags here. And the risk is pretty high if you run into the stack and if you try to hunt the frags. That would be a pretty big mistake because you're giving up so much investment for like a stock pistol. That's not good economy management.
TyLoo on average carrying 5k each right now. So it's 5k versus, well, $300 on the PT50 for a $300 bonus. Not really worth it at this point in the game. Liquid, they're back on the buy. It's not going to be the best. 4 to 4.5k will yield M4A4s and grenades here and there. Elige, the one player with the silenced M4. So it seems that silenced M4s tend to be in the minority at the moment. TyLoo with a thin lead. Mo deploying some grenades towards the banana area. Some Molotovs going into the through the balcony. Stop any fast boiler plays. Now, got some Molotovs down. I'm sure Nitro was spotted there, but TyLoo have to make sure they're not baited by team flashes. It's solo flash from Nitro and a kill from Elige. Very difficult stuff around the smoke, but maybe they'll have to settle for the one-on-one. They want to push through the smoke onto the site, and who knows what's behind it.
Oh dear. Entries coming quite easily here for TyLoo. They still have a player lurking towards second mid, interestingly. Is now starting to, well, actually still walking around second mid, so they could use the reinforcements. They have over a minute, so they could even go back towards top mid if they wanted.
What's important also in situations like this is keeping an eye, like you've killed 2 people towards B, but have you killed the B players, or is there another person potentially lurking? That's something that they need to be aware of as well. Yeah,
and at this point, as long as they just, the kind of foolproof play here is to just go as a team and use your grenades well. And that should allow TyLoo to have enough advantages to win over a bomb site, get a bomb down and win the round. So we'll see if that's what happens here. Or because Liquid, they're forced into this spot where either they take a massive gamble on Stacker's side or they just allow people to be isolation, play rotations, or basically play on Elige getting a 2k there, which is pretty crazy. Really nice stuff there from Elige. Now JDM and Twist have something to work off of as they come in from CT spawn, and JDM will now know that construction's safe, so they have a way into the sites.
That is a huge 2k from Elige, especially with the silenced M4. Massive stuff on that second kill. That gives them a fighting chance. That's the last grenade gone for Liquid. No Molotovs or anything to flush out these players. The crossfire is here. The occasional pick from JDM is ready for it. 2k from JDM. Rarely see him use the M4A4, but he beats it that time. Can get the extra money from the defuse to help buy sniper rifles in the future. AK collected by Twist. Liquid looking good.
Yeah, that was a pretty deep peek as well from the player on the new box position. So from H said, yeah. So I guess like he just didn't understand that a player could be close at that point. So we'll start to see now that things are equalized and Liquid get around together, that they'll be in a position to start applying some more pressure. They may do so through the use of utility and try to play 3 on Banana again. We'll have to see. Looks like they're going for a more standard approach. So I like that. It's good to just see what, again, TyLoo are really wanting to do here. Good pre-nades again. They were actually consistently getting some good damage from these nades down Banana.
Somebody in second mid. I'm going to keep my my computer on him, as he hasn't got any kills at the moment, but that might be because he's supporting his team for the most part. And right now he is indeed just making sure there's no flank around A apartments while his team put in work towards Banana. So that's his job for the time being. He'll be smoking off Arch. You see the grenades sailing past DD's perspective. And now TyLoo will have a renewed focus towards mid, which is instantly smoked by the CT. Somebody's made his way into apartments. I don't know if TyLoo made it all the way up Banana with the 4-man presence there. 1 minute on the clock. Somebody slowly creeping into apartments as his team emerge top mid.
And it looks like they're going to go for this A play. There's 2 on our side, though, at the moment for Liquid. So you can see the entry is really easy up quad, and they're going to be happy about that. Twisto, nice off angle, coming into play with the double. The trade has not happened, and he's just sitting there, and his teammates are now repositioned to play off of him. A third from Twist, almost the fourth. It will come quite easily from Stanislaw, who again, had all the time in the world to position in for that. And there you go, DD will get 1 kill in consolation, but the bomb is lost. He doesn't have enough time to get there and really do anything with this round, so it's over in this one. Twist was allowed to do too much work.
Yeah, these multi-frags are proving very important for Liquid. Elige towards the B bomb site, Twist towards the A bomb site. Twist, one of the up-and-coming, if that's appropriate, players, at least names. It's more a name than play, you know, earning your stripes and such. Maybe he'll make history at this major. Remains to be seen as we move through the qualifier. Liquid now taking the lead versus TyLoo. And the money's awkward for TyLoo in this round. DD with $350 because he saved his weapon. Some money will be spent on pistols, but I think it's going to be down to DD to try and open things up. And unfortunately for him, he has the worst spawn of his team. If he had the best spawn, then he could throw a flash off the wall, find a car position on Banana and try and get a fast peek on a blind CT, but no. To add insult to injury, he has the worst spawn, and he will be deploying a smoke towards top mid to stop any early aggression. It can be common for CT sides to push through mid on an eco round, but maybe unlikely when they know there's an AK in play.
Yeah, no, I do feel like Liquid have certainly adjusted their play to try to allow TyLoo to kind of execute some of their game plan, but then to try to capitalize upon any of the mistakes which have been happening, so allow your opponent to hang themselves with how they're playing it. So we'll see whether that approach continues, or whether Liquid will start to feel more confident and start to play their own game as well on top of that in aggression. But here comes the play with the Tech 9s, the AK and so on, and we have a great setup, good crossfires coming in from Liquid. They're executing the frags very well. Once again, a double front twist from that balcony pit position. The wrap finally does come though, and Stanislaw with a quick double, and now that just leaves Bentet alone in the pit position. So again, Liquid just taking this very calmly, very passively, and able to frag their way out of a lot of these situations with just decent setups.
Well, for the most part, TyLoo are on $4,000 because of the timeout victory of Liquid. DD is left on $2,500. So I had a tweet about that second round where they were on eco and lost by timeout, saying they think it's more common sense and inexperience. But I think it's well, I'll come back to it on a later round. It's not an eco round, but we're still getting the push from Liquid again, trying to abuse their dominant position. Once that molly's gone on Banana, then those CTs can actually throw a pop flash for JDM to continue to push with that MP9, and Stanislaw has some nice cover for him in second mid. Now, smoke's down the middle of mid. Mid seems to be narrower, so that can cause problems for the T's as well, but we won't have such a thing in this situation. Two-man push will actually work out, and I mean, if Nitro got picked off there, then who knows what would have happened, but they put trust in their teammate and it paid off for them. So 4-on-4 situation, things getting kind of weird though.
Yeah, this is really disruptive. Again, this really tests a team's ability to call when you have a lot of pressure on. You lose a man very early on into the round when you had a game plan. So now you have to basically be like, okay, we don't have what we wanted to execute this plan with, so we have to make a new plan on the fly. They've decided to go down arch with 3 players. Twist in a good position now that he's dropped out of the pit. And this is a very annoying headshot angle to deal with. You have to go and try and find a way to deal with it. Okay, that's a good approach. Just shot straight in the face with the AK-7. Let's see if somebody can do the same. Yes, he can. Stanislaw will fall on the bomb site, allowing a 2v2 after plant situation. Elige is close, though, and he spotted one player's position in the pit.
Nitro making his way through apartments in the meantime, so Elige can run distraction and allow Nitro to try and get the pick, and indeed he will do exactly that. Mo exposed to balcony while trying to duel towards Arch, and now somebody in a crossfire. Now he's down to 1 versus 1. He's got less than 20 HP though versus Elige with a lot more, but he needs a headshot, can't quite get it. It'll be Elige, and that's going to put TyLoo back into eco territory, or actually the bomb plant might allow them another buy. A 4th round in a row for Team Liquid. Yeah, TyLoo around 4K again, so perhaps they will go for a buy. Especially with only 1 player surviving for Liquid, there's an opportunity to break them. And quickly going back to that second round, yes, it's common sense to not lose by timeout when you've only got a deagle on the second round, but I feel like the fact he's there for so long could also be influenced by like local Counter-Strike, where people might do things that you wouldn't normally find. It's kind of too long to talk about in the middle of a round, but indeed they do go for the buy TyLoo. Back on the AKs, grenades here and there, but they have an opportunity to break Liquid.
A double up, Nitro and JDM, perhaps inspired by G2. And how the G2 are unrelenting in doubles. Doesn't matter what's going on, they are going to do it if they can on the CT of Inferno. And the Crossfire, typical Crossfire setup you'd expect on this map. Oh wow, I think JDM moved there before shooting, and that should have been a kill here. So this is definitely something surprising that TyLoo perhaps shouldn't have as far as advantages go, but they do. They got the extra kill. And now they're in on top of that A-bomb site. Once again, though, Twist is just causing so many problems. Time and time again, Twist is getting the kills from the balcony and stopping the pushes. This is another one of those rounds as he gets himself a 2K, and Liquid defend despite being in a situation where they went 1 for 2 in that spot there as the players pushed up mid. Which is not good. Not good. Or rather, 2 for 1, that is, from the CT perspective. So that should have been a better approach. It probably should have ended up in a bomb plant there for TyLoo. So they'll be quite sad that that's not the case. Twist, though, ever reliable around the balcony in the pits.
TyLoo have called for a tactical pause. So as I understand it, Peacemaker can't talk to them during matches because of his involvement with Misfits at Minors. So they can talk amongst themselves and try to figure out where the hole in the defense is.
Okay, so he's just watching and he can, outside of the game,
yeah, I don't think he's standing behind them. I think he is elsewhere.
Okay, he's just watching the games. And
yeah, so between games, I suppose he will converse with the team. I think his job is especially difficult at this event because in the Swiss system, it's like you can't really prepare for like a best of 1 versus X, It's not like a series or something. So a lot of teams to prepare against in a short space of time, only so much you can really expect to do. I think probably focusing on minimizing errors and approaches to the game and not dying by timeout on the fourth buy round.
And a lot of the the issues that they might have might be quite habituated. But we'll see if they can do something here. They've already got an opening towards Banana. Nitro forced back. Does he have enough time to get out of there? He does. Somebody's in hot pursuit, though, hot on his heels, as JDM is now looking on with the AWP. But Nitro's gone down on the bomb site, which means that it is available to them for a plant. However, the bomb is down in Banana, which is a really huge issue. They do have a flank coming in as well, so this could get interesting as there's 50 seconds to go. And Team Liquid are committing hard into this retake, although the bomb has not been spotted just yet. Yeah,
Bentet's the man. He's got to kill JDM. He has to kill him, because if he dies in that situation, they can't get off the site. But they make it work. Twist, last man standings, as is DD, who manages to escape the site quietly. Does he choose to stand and fight? He does! Instead of, I mean, you've got two schools of thought there, right? One is go and get the bomb and run towards A. The other is you know where the guy is right now, so take the duel while you know where he is, versus rotating and having no idea where he is. Works out for TyLoo, 4th round on the board, and that has instantly put Liquid in a difficult spot where they can only afford pistols for the most part.
Yeah, and you can see Twist was surprised to be in this duel, I think, against DD. So, a much needed lifeline, additional lifeline there for TyLoo, as now we've got Liquid in a very hard situation. Triple CZ, double UMP. They do have a lot of grenades though, so we could see some cute plays from them using these nades, and they're close to medium range weapons. Ooh, that's a good nade onto Nitro. I wonder if they would have heard any collisions there. I think it may have just knocked him. Re-smoke it. You know, there's players very close, but just pushing the smoke there, and that did not work out all too well. I think there was a flashbang with it, but still, the flashbang did not do its job in that case, unfortunately for him. Now HZ is lost. It's like TyLoo are going to start to think twice about Banana, and they are heading back out towards more passive positions into middle.
There's a double arch play from Liquid. We've seen a lot of two-man short today, but not so much two-man long. And now it's two-man on road as the rotation towards short or sight comes in from the CTs, but they don't really have much, if any, information at present, so they're just gambling. Somebody is running some distraction towards the A site, keeping them entertained, but it's a fake, it's a trap. He's selling them lies. As a push, 5-man push towards B, 5 versus 2. No counter grenades from the CT side. Elige with a sneaky spot, no kill for him though. Nice headshot from Mo, and there goes Nitro, and that should be the conclusion of the round. Stanislaw rotating closer to UMP. 4 versus 2. Not much to lose, really, for the CT side, so we'll see what they opt to do. Maybe try and find some exits somewhere, but other than that, nothing doing for Team Liquid. The buy has failed. They'll get 1900 for this round, and they will be on the eco.
Well, it's getting interesting now that TyLoo is starting to get some money together. As long as they can keep 4 players alive in this round, that could change, though, because we do have Twitch walking around. Looks like he'll get caught in the back, though. And I don't think JD will be spotted in time. So yeah, TyLoo will survive with 4 players, boosting their money. And Liquid, they need a save. So this is the spot for TyLoo to really, well, potentially get themselves to 7 or 8 rounds. It's very possible from this position. Maybe Moses will leave the building early today after all. TyLoo, I mean,
you seem to be very keen for Moses to just,
nah, I'm just
go
kidding.
away.
I'm just kidding. I like Jason. Jason's a good guy. He's good people.
I mean, is there something you want to say to it? 4 players towards B on this eco round for Team Liquid. JDM wielding the UMP is with them. And Stanislaw will make his way into CT apartment towards B. Lovely! Double grenades coming out, and Nitro will not be hard to dispatch off afterwards. Jettisoned into the sun are these Liquid players. They will burn in the atmosphere as they are being dispatched so quickly from this round. Stanislaw has rotated. I like the patience from TyLoo. No need to get sloppy, even though there's only 1 player remaining. Can still be dangerous, and definitely is of a P250.
Yeah, and his objective here is just to get some damage in as well, get some additional pressure, and maybe steal a gun away. That said, the damage won't mean too much insofar as the ability to buy for the other team, but like a kill with a PT50 could get him some extra cash for an extra smoke grenade or whatever it might be in the following round. Alas, he's unable to do so, but it will be 6 rounds now for TyLoo as they bring themselves back into this one, and they really give themselves a workable amount of rounds, even if the journey in the first half is to stop here, but it does not look like that would be the case. They have a great position. Well, that's a good... Oh, wow. Yeah, Nitro almost getting taken down as well.
That's really interesting because it's like they position themselves to avoid the grenade going behind sandbags. And I feel like that grenade should be going behind the sandbags and hit 2 of them next to sandbags instead. So they are really unlucky that happened. Really unlucky because you got Banana, there's a window on the wall behind the car. To the right of the window, you throw the grenade, it goes behind the sandbags, right? But they could basically mess up the grenade and did more damage by accident. So that really sucks for Liquid, but there we go.
C'est la vie. We've got TyLoo now moving in for the A play. Looks like they're not going to be messing around with anything else. No presence on Banana. Liquid very passive on Banana, though. They might not realize this until it happens. But they do have a 2-man setup on quads. This could be a very fast round.
Indeed it is. Balcony push coming in at the same time. So surely Twitch will get traded. Indeed he will. Somebody taking him down, making him nobody. JDM repositioning, drawing his gun and getting the kill somehow. Great repositioning while he was caught in an awkward spot. That leaves Mo alone. 1 versus 3. He's got a bomb, but he needs to thin out these numbers before that plant comes in. That's what he's looking for in the moment. Crouching into the angle. JDM down to 20 HP, and that Molotov will allow him to take Nitro down at the same time. So he's given himself an option, but there's one unknown, and that's Elige. Where is Elige? That's a question for Mo.
Yeah, he definitely has an ability to take a plant now if he wants, but he really wants to get that extra kill and to see what's going on towards CT here. And this does obviously give him the option to go all the way towards B, but at some point with the time, he's just going to have to commit to running and just that his guess is correct. And that is what he's already doing right now as he starts to sprint towards B. Very confident play here from Mo. Love how he used the Molotov as well and then goes for the angle towards the top of mid. Very smart play, but can he close the round? 1 versus 2 now.
Yeah, he's done the National Enquirer plant. The bomb is completely exposed. So Liquid, he could be Banana playing an off angle. Liquid pop out for a quiet one. Oh, that's almost a spray transfer. The second burst will be enough. 2 headshots for Mo. Hello. Score is tied up just when you thought it was safe for Liquid to dominate the half. It is 7-7.
Yeah, that's quite the clutch. And Mo, or Captain Mo as he's sometimes referred to, is definitely a pretty smart and strong player. Obviously, we saw that misstep with the Deagle previously, but it's hard to question that his skill at the game. So we'll see now as things are evened up that TyLoo will be in a great stead from a money perspective. We've got the AWP out to somebody and all the nades as well. So everything they could possibly want here. 3 men from Liquid though to really challenge, but TyLoo's grenades have so far been more effective.
Yeah, but there are grenades in return. Grenades and flashbangs, but there'll be no blind barbecues. More flashes coming in. Everybody's blind, but it's Elise who goes down, and the Nitro are able to trade. AK spam for days on Banana, but Liquid will not be deterred. UMP coming in. This is our town, Liquid are saying. CT man advantage for the time being, but 2 of them are very deep towards A, so no info in that direction. And now everything starts to come down once the utility is deployed.
What an important re-aggression from Liquid, because they invested so much utility on Banana to not have a situation where they're down a man or similar. That is unacceptable in that spot, and so I love that they took the risk there. It was so needed, and it worked out brilliantly for them. Now they just sit passively onto a 2-man setup on either bomb side. They take the classic pit positions so that the 2 players can play off of each other. Same thing on Banana as well. So TyLoo, they just need to rely on good team play, good trading, effective use of the remaining utility that they have to win this round. Now, can they get the players in pit, though? That's a really big question. And there it is, that position, that headshot angle is tough to deal with, but Bentet is going to tap away Twists out of the round. Sent back to the bench now as JDM is rocking the UMP. Never seen so many SMG and rifle kills in a game from JDM, I feel like. As now Bentet left alone in the 1 versus 3 clutch with players all around him. How on earth do you pull this off? Oh, almost, but not quite. The transfer was there from Bentet, but he can't get the last man.
The decision for JDM not to pop out and try to trade his teammate from the T towards Ivy turns out to be really strong for Liquid towards the end there, because they, after killing the other player in pit, they thought pit was clear. Somebody goes back towards Banana expecting more CTs to come and get shot in the back, so JDM made it a lot easier for his team. Bentet, though, almost ruined everything. You see Zeus barking orders at his team during halftime. Again, Peacemaker unable to do the same at this tournament. TyLoo, though, with 7 rounds on the board, moving into their CT side. Pretty. Oh, look at that! Look at that handsome fall! Look at him! Look at those eyebrows! Strong eyebrows, Dan.
All right, so pistols abound. We have the HE there onto somebody. That's basically all the utility, seemingly, for TyLoo left at that point. So. Ooh, aggression and apps as well. Brave play here from DD. What? Oh, the close range with the USP. All right, Easy does it, DD, as he now is going to be able to fall back and away from that position. And we see the rest of TyLoo begin to drift upwards towards that B-bomb site now. The assistance is there.
More help, though, needed on the CT side for TyLoo. Nitro pushing through the smoke, as is JDM. Not going to work out for them. I think it's fair to say it's a complete failure. Now the cavalry coming, flying through the smoke on a motorbike like Delta Force, Chuck Norris firing the missiles. Let's go. If you're a fan of TyLoo, it's time to start cheering. I want to see that logo, man. The logo's so gangster. I want to see it in the major.
I have to say that, like, that the place that where this position on a pistol round from a CT, to me, is just insane. Because you only get close range fights and you have to hit people in the head. Alicia's
mad tilted, yo.
Yeah, it's like you don't expect someone to stand there. And if they are, you're going to kill them. Because it's a terrible spot. In my opinion, I don't know. It's a hard spot to get frags at the very least. But he did it. Maybe he just understands how super sick he is the game. Or not this round at the very least. Here come the Tech 9s.
Oh my god, did you see that flashbang there?
It was, no, we'll ignore that.
Did you see that flashbang?
Didn't happen.
For those of you at home, normally from that position, Old Inferno and you bounce the flash off the top of the barrels to sail over the boost position, if you will. But he just basically threw a flash at himself. That's panic right there. That's panic, Dan. He's like, I need help, man. I can't even think about what I need to do. I'm just going to throw this flash straight in my face. At least I'll go out blind, you know. Take the pain, just take the pain away. That's what he's asking for.
Wow. Well, he's had some time to calm things down as we have, oh, the lineup there for HZ. Pulls out the USP, almost gets every single player. The quad kill will be enough, perhaps. Bentet and Mo, the only men standing, but the bomb has to be planted here by JDM. They may wait these CTs for such an occasion, as they don't want to necessarily give themselves up. And they want to know exactly where JDM is. That's the cat and mouse game that you often find in a situation like this. That said, we do have Mo, who just brazenly is checking every position on the bomb site, and now they're likely making the call that, wait, it's actually clear here, and they have Bentet over towards CT spawn, taking a goosey gander towards this B bomb site, which is actually now where JDM is going. So crazy play from Mo to just push into A like that by himself, but now they know what's up.
Bentet with that good angle. It's a nice start on A and a nice finish on B from TyLoo, weathering the storm there from Team Liquid, trying to barrel through the apartments area. And that puts the Liquid money in a sticky situation. Look at this, man. They got drilled like they were on Grinder, Dan.
Just gonna lead that out there for a bit. just let's have a bit of awkward silence there, just to highlight just what you said. Anyway, 8-9 is the score now, as we get TyLoo in advantage, and they should continue to do so. Going for that classic anti-eco play that we love to see. Just get your rifles in there, just end the round quickly, rush down mid, don't let the T's actually do anything in this round. Bentet falls, but it was not in vain. The rest of his teammates survive with a round. And the other good thing about that kind of situation is that you actually make a lot of money, in a sense, because you don't, because the round doesn't go on for ages, you don't end up using a lot of grenades. So you actually make a lot of saving on your grenades in such a short round like that. So 10-8, TyLoo now, but back is Liquid with the AKs. Yeah.
Wonder if Liquid are going to start to get hot under the collar just yet. 8-10. By no means are TyLoo running away with things, and rounds can be made very expensive very quickly by a T side. TyLoo, standard stuff, starting with 3 towards the B bomb site. Bentet will deploy a smoke grenade and rotate back towards A, but DD's not far behind him, so a lot of faith in TyLoo. This is a very early rotate for that second man from the B bomb site, and Liquid are looking to capitalize on this. They've left the AWPer on his own. Mo instantly traded by Twitch.
Yeah, that's a bad sign. You can see that DD is trying to rush to do something here. Some spray to catch that Planter. Can't quite do it though. Safe behind the coffins as he gets sprayed down from the boost position by Elige. Bentet now looking to get himself over the coffins. Jumping over the smoke here. Have to be careful. Could very easily just get taken down in that position. And you've got players all over the place here for Liquid. Looking to hold this down. Just HZ now. And it looks like TyLoo are going to come crashing down in this round, potentially, unless HZ can do the unthinkable here. There's not really that much time. Let's have a kit though. Finds himself another headshot. Surely not. Another play from HZ as before he perhaps dies or falls back. And indeed, Elige will be the one to catch him there. But he did do a lot of extra damage there. Two kills from HZ is some nice pressure. And unfortunately for TyLoo, they don't really have any money in the bank.
Yeah, they broke, man. So as good as that damage was, Liquid have the breathing room of an eco round. Although, okay, so DD's dropped a lot of cash in this round. I mean, he's still got a good average with his teammates, so it's not terrible. But you do wonder what other things you could do with that money in future rounds. One round behind our Team Liquid at the moment. Very quick rotation from them. So you do wonder if that's a hard counter from Liquid, like if they were expecting that. Look at the damage done. Elige taking some as well. Stanislaw making not trying to hide the fact that he's pushing through the balcony position, but DD still focused on short.
Yeah, UMP at this range is very dangerous. Just needs to get a very... Oh, that could have been two. So close there. Additional damage in the P250. Also dangerous here from Bentet. Can't find the connection though. CZ comes into play. CZ goes out of play. Just Mo left now, coming up middle, and he will be spotted. He'll be heard soon enough. And the bomb will be planted. Wow, gets a kill though, despite everything. Down to 34 points of health. He's got an AK, he's got some Kevlar as well, but the health is rather low as he starts to crawl his way into positions here, into angles, looking to see if he can find anybody. Announcing his presence with a smoke grenade, and that will be the end of him, courtesy of JDM.
Nice.
10-10.
Nice. Spy time for the CTs. See what they can muster. Somebody opting for the UMP to allow himself some grenades. DD and Bentet with the M4s, as Tate said. Mo with the silenced M4. So for every team I think we've seen on Inferno so far, it's just been one silenced M4. And the rest M4A4s. Elige just picked up the MAC-10. 2 of the 5 players don't have helmets. So we'll see how far he gets to that MAC-10. It can still be of use, close quarters in the apartments area, but it's not often you see the CTs in there. Somebody on short, Bentet underneath the, well, in that position, you can see on your cameras, on your screens, on your visors, on your projectors, should you have a projector. 10 to 10. Elige, very aggressive, but again, not really finding anything. It can go through apartments, but nobody there for the CTs.
Yeah, that's not a common angle too, I have to say. You can see, yeah, Elige was not thinking about that angle. He's thinking about a lot of other positions, but he was not ready for that. Scary off angles. Well, scary pushes to be had potentially from Liquid as they now commit towards B. TyLoo, without any counter grenades really available, there's one flashbang. That's actually doing a lot of work here, delaying, but we've seen this position earlier today. It's very disadvantageous for the CT. DD with a 1-for-1. That's actually pretty good from that spot after he had no support to really work off of. Now Bentet is just sitting around the smoke here, unable to find a way in. 3 players ready to go now for TyLoo. The 4th has arrived.
Interestingly, Mo is boosting HZ, but surely it should be the other way around because Mo's the one with the silenced M4, so that would be less obvious. Stanislaw around the smoke, charging through. Only 1 kill for him though, Twist 40 HP, and it's down to 1 versus 1. Bentet charging through the smoke, finding the angle just before Twist does. A very expensive round for both teams, but it's TyLoo back in the lead. But their money is going to absolutely suck, and with the plant from Team Liquid, their buy is coming straight back. So this is going to be a very difficult round for TyLoo. Their buy is going to suck.
Yeah, and it's a really big test, isn't it? Because obviously, this is like that 1-for-2 situation. Both teams have a ruined economy. Both teams have spent almost all of their, well, basically all of their money. So whoever wins this round, considering this is round 22, it could just carry the winner of this round, you know, a good few rounds ahead, and that would be basically you've almost won the match at that point. So really crucial round for both teams, this one. We'll see how it is opened up here by both teams. We have 3 from TyLoo providing quick pressure towards Banana early on. And pretty fast timing here from JDM. 20 seconds into the round, he's already picking aggressively with that AWP of his in towards the arch and quad positions. And you can see the TyLoo taking the gamble. Got one player playing deep on Banana, that's Mo. And the rest of the team 4 strong on the A sites.
Nice to see they have not been deterred from the 4-8 based on the previous round. Mo still has a smoke grenade to deploy bottom of Banana, so he can keep people entertained for a while. Indeed, he is backing off and doing exactly that, but he's dropped his smoke a bit more shallow than he could have. And that might invite Liquid to have a look towards Banana. As you can see, it's been put by the logs, but I mean, he was standing in a tree position, so he had taken a few steps back before he dropped it, so I really feel like he could have been deeper in the arch. So Liquid may have been allowed somewhat back into Banana, but their rotation is here for TyLoo, a 3rd player, DD, making his way. The CTs have 1 grenade, 1 flashbang. That said, there are 30 seconds left for Liquid. They've still got 2 people towards A, so it seems they wanted to show presence towards B and go back towards A, but DD is also headed in that direction. Somebody hunting for pre-fire, but Stanislaw will get the headshot.
The timing was pretty huge there. HZ has to deliver something, but gets shut down by Twist. Now onto DD. Oh, JDM coming in with a fast one straight to the face. 2 players for TyLoo remain, and they will likely have to save here and then force by the next round with the remaining 3. There's nothing else they can do. There is nothing else they can do. In fact, I would imagine that Bentet will be able to drop a UMP, and then he'll also have a smoke grenade. And then Mo has enough for a UMP and maybe, and actually to refill on grenades actually. So, and the other player's going to need for like 1 grenades and the UMPs and armors. So they'll have something to work with, I guess. Well, it depends like if they. It's going to suck, James. I'm trying to find a way to make this buy sound good, but it's going to suck. 2 players will be on pistols. No, one player will be on pistol.
TyLoo timeout. I believe this is actually timeout number 2 from them, but Liquid did it for them last time because they couldn't figure it out. 11-11, and yeah, this sucks for TyLoo. I mean, but there's what can they really do in this particular round? Try and put these two M4s to work. They don't really have the money to
Drop 2 UMPs and force it up. No?
No.
Looks like they're not going to do it.
No, I think they need to keep the money on the team together for their next buy. I think it's too much to ask at this point, but it's awkward because
even in the next rounds, yeah, it's going to suck.
You don't want Liquid to... I mean, we're looking at 13-11 essentially.
Yeah.
Right, which is like, this is not the stage of the game where you want to do that, but I really don't know how much choice there is for them.
Yeah.
I think they just need to brunt it and see what Bentet and Mo can do. Bentet top mid, Mo towards the B bomb site. Mo's rotating towards the A site, and I would like to see the M4s used together. They need to take a gamble, obviously, at this point, and they're doing exactly that, putting 4 towards A. But it's a passive 4, which is fine. It's a gamble. You could go aggressive and try to do things, but that might be expected of Liquid, from Liquid rather. So they've gambled A, and if they're wrong, they can just try and save these rifles for the next round.
Well, they have Mo towards B though, so if B does get assaulted, then Mo could very well just die, and they've only got one M4 to save. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, again, they could have had the 2 M4s, 2 UMPs, and a pistol. You know, everyone with armor and like maybe 1 or 2 grenades each. But yeah, that's the problem, is that it's just it's very painful, isn't it? To play with limited grenades. I mean, that limited.
Since their money's together, Mo could keep try and hold on to construction at least for the team to rotate, because they're smoking down towards CT. Oh, he needs to get back again. Just hold construction, let the team rotate, get your reload in. Bentet's got 2 flashbangs. You could even make a play through the smoke into the pool area of one of the players. And indeed, he's doing exactly that, just holding on to construction, get the team ready, get them flashbangs going. 5 versus 3. One of those 3 with an AWP. You've got your numbers game. There's the first flash. There's one more to come. There's a crossfire, but how strong can Liquid be in this situation? Send a cannon fodder in first. DD's taken down. The 2 rifles are still in play. 1 versus 2 now. Mo, he's got more to do. Needs the ace. Not going to quite get it, but maybe at least that damage will play a part in the rounds to come.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. Like their money sucks so badly here. Is like still, and I think like if they were to buy here, right, it would only be marginally better than what they could have forced within the last round. So that's why the decision is so hard. Obviously, they're going to go for a half buy, it seems. But we'll see what they can get done with this half buy, because you never know in a game of Counter-Strike. You never know. Pistols are very strong, and it only takes some fortunate timing as well. You can win rounds. No utility at all for the TyLoo side to work with. This round.
I think it's always nice. I mean, it depends on what you want to do, right? They've put the numbers towards A. I think if you put the numbers towards B, they probably buy a flashbang and flash around the corner. But since they haven't made that play, they'll try and spam the close quarters of apartments. Not going to yield results on this occasion. But there we go. Such is life. It is what it is.
So Liquid have found the A side is cleaned out and ready for a plant, and it's just Mo lurking around with a deagle. And they got absolutely nothing done in this round. It's gonna they were basically always banking on this round here. They go double AWP actually, Mo and somebody. And if they don't win this round, it's very scary. It gets very scary. Liquid on 13, closing in on that 14. Got the UMP still there for Stanislaw, actually.
You say scary, but beyond the pistol, they've won 1 round of 6. So, I mean, obviously, a fair few of those are eco rounds, but it does not read well on paper. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean scary for TyLoo.
Yeah, I'm talking about TyLoo.
Yeah,
that's not a good start.
That is, yeah, not a good start.
Immediately taken down towards Banana. TyLoo, they need a response. I don't know that they can just sit on this and wait for Liquid to come to them, because it's going to be They'll be outnumbered at this point.
Yeah, and that's the really difficult thing when you want to play like that and you don't have any utility really to work with. Another pick coming there. Somebody trying to get a peek there in the apartment. It's not really working out. So now a 3 versus 5. HZ flashed. Really nice flash there from Liquid. And they'll take the A-bomb side very easily. Now, TyLoo have to save these 2 guns. And Liquid, they can afford to go out and hunt. They have a decent amount of money. They're going to win this round no matter what. So they can afford to go in and pressure here. I think that they should try to do so. They have 5 players left alive.
Yeah, they've got enough money to hunt in this round. So send in the drones. Send in the drones. Stanislaw, very expendable with that UMP.
Here's Bentet. Nice. He used the footsteps to allow him to understand exactly the timing of when to start spraying. And he gets a free 2 frags there. Nicely done. And it looks like Liquid were likely thinking that that was the maximal investment there anyway. 14 rounds to them, 11 to TyLoo. TyLoo can get themselves a full buy here as well with the UMPs. I do wonder how the game would look if the UMP was like $1,800 or something. You know, or $1,700, $1,600. Like, it's just like $400, $500, $600 more dollars.
I think you'd be better off just changing the kill bonus. But anyway, they have bought around what they saved, TyLoo. Very fast aggression from Liquid. And I thought Mo might have got a second. Well, Stanislaw was the one close to the wall there. The Flames did the job instead of the gun, but as long as the job is done. No response to the initial pick from Team Liquid. That is in response. 3 towards A for TyLoo. And again, they're playing 2 in the site. Interestingly, nobody in the pit area whatsoever. Often it's very strong to have someone in somebody's position, for example, and somebody in the pit area, which can be facing short or it can be under the carts. There's some flexibility there. So I'm very curious to see how this this plays out. Of course, I have Bentet as well, who is over towards Arch, but can focus towards short. But the numbers game is coming towards the long area, and they may get caught out. We've got DD on the rotation towards Speedway. What is the play of Liquid?
TyLoo just like huddling in that A-bomb site, awaiting the push. They have no one in pit, no one on balcony, no one in graveyard. And right now there's a player sort of isolated as DD. He's by himself. If he doesn't win this 1 versus 1, things get really bad here for TyLoo, but he does. And he holds down this position. No trade frag coming in, but at least now starting to work into the bomb site. HZ is dead. Somebody's dead. Just Bentet left, but Bentet might be enough. 3K from Bentet, so fast. And that will be TyLoo holding on.
The ironic thing is, if you're Liquid, when are you expecting 3 people site, nobody graveyard, nobody pit? Like, you're always going to look away and look for somewhere else. So Bentet manages to excel in the mayhem. But there's still money for a full buy, and there'll be money in the next round as well, should one be required. Stanislaw surrounded by Flames there. 14 to 12, the double ops on TyLoo now. Seen it before, we see it again. Can they keep Liquid on the back foot? Stanislaw getting annihilated by grenades. His belly wasn't really in mid or bottom of Banana. But still, they found it. It's kind of in between the two. Not often you see people standing there getting wrecked by grenades, but there we go. TyLoo with the smoke on Banana towards the middle upper area as opposed to down in the arch. Liquid for now will focus on A.
Two players in pit, or rather one in graveyard and one in pits. Right now for TyLoo on the defense. I could have said for Liquid to fight against on the A side. That would have been a good save there. And Liquid just looking to ready their execution of a set piece into the bomb site. Here they go. A drilled play. Nitro, the first man to make the kill, looking for Bentet in pits. You can see how well Liquid are drilled in this position, and they will find themselves a very quick site take. And that is a big problem for TyLoo. It would be too awkward, really, for Mo to come in and save this, as even with the help of DD. They're up against 4 players. There's still grenades here to be utilized by the Liquid side. And this would be the round that puts Liquid onto 15, so and TyLoo's money is not going to be amazing. So they definitely would want to conserve one of these two guns, that's for sure.
Yeah, they need to get out there, man, with both of these guns. One player's got 1,800, so at least that will be something. Of course, they just went around, so they're going to get diddly squats for losing this round, TyLoo. They are in a lot of trouble now. And it's interesting, you saw, or I saw, somebody playing towards the library position. You don't often see opponents play there anymore on Inferno, at least at the moment. They like to be on the corner so they can look towards short, long balcony, make their way towards the site if they need to, rather than get trapped and smoked off in the library position. Once those first kills came in, somebody tried to make his way to the site, just got sprayed down through smoke before he could do anything about it. So they saved some weapons, TyLoo, and it's Liquid with match point 4 AKs to AWP for the T side. TyLoo with whatever they can muster. 2 M4s, UMP, CZ, and the big green gun. Starting with 3 towards the B bomb site. Mo off to a good start in apartments, but there's another T there. He does not want to go back to the well. So there's an early pick for TyLoo, but Liquid are in control of apartments. And Stanislaw starting to creep up banana.
Nana. Do you mean Diggity? We'll see if the AWP of Mo can get in a position to work some magic. As Liquids have dropped the bomb into top mid there, interestingly, as Elige gets himself onto quad roof. So much information here for Elige, and also if he just holds these positions, look at how, is he going to push further along the balcony? Really, really cool push there from Elige. You don't see that every day or every match. Oh, that is for sure. Towards B, JDM's been creeping in. There's a gap in the smoke that was deployed by the CTs, but really, they would have heard the scope because he scoped very close to the car, so I would be cool to have seen a pop flash. But now we've got the T streaming all over the place. As you can see, JDM up close, but he'll get traded immediately. All of a sudden, it's Nitro versus 4. This is exactly what TyLoo needed, not only to win a round, but to win with most of their team intact, some team wounding going on. But ultimately, Nitro, I don't think he's made any sounds just yet, but they're making it as hard as possible for him to peek in any direction. Mo is there. That is perfect for TyLoo. 4 people alive. They can really spread the wealth, and they need to. They don't have the cash. Liquid do have the cash. But what happened for Liquid in that round? That's one of those rounds where I just love to load it up into one of those demo analysis tools to just see positionally what happens, because it looked really awkward going on to that B bomb side ultimately, and especially with all the information that Elige got, it was interesting. Obviously at that point, from his perspective, you could think, okay, they're playing that 3-man setup again. Everybody's on the side potentially, but just based on how they're positioned, maybe there could have been one in pit. But perhaps they just felt like having Elige show deep would keep all those players towards A to allow them an easier take of the B bomb site. But TyLoo were able to read the play pretty well and had the right players in the right position, playing the delay game. And eventually, the clock was the worst enemy of Liquid in that situation.
2 snipers continue for the TyLoo side. They need 2 from 2. And this is almost the last stand for Liquid, because this has cleaned out their cash. If they are to lose this round, they have to defend a potential overtime with not much. Somebody spotting a foot headed towards the B banana, well, the banana area, but that's not really anything unusual at this point. JDM seeking to destroy. But we've got the change in approach from TyLoo. Hello, the AWPs are firing off, and the kills all across the map. 3 versus 5 still doable, but not by any means ideal.
Had one overtime today, and it could be another one if Liquid can't find a way to save this round. That needed to be a connection there from JDM. Still searching for a way in. Forward position though, JDM can keep trying to poke towards Arch side, or looks like he will reposition towards quad though, as he looks for a player towards the pit position. But TyLoo with a huge advantage there. They can play incredibly passively. Oh my god, as I say that, somebody absolutely heinous push in the back there, forcing the action from Liquid, and they will win the round. TyLoo getting to 14, and there's no money for Liquid. There's no money.
That is awesome. I love that. That push is completely absurd. And it's perfect because it's really nice to show that you are capable of doing such things.
I can't believe that he went for that push. I cannot. Like, that's like saying, well, the one way for them to get back into the round is if I just run out and die here, and then they're back in the round.
That's an outstanding push.
It's crazy, man.
Psychologically, that is great for TyLoo to do something as insane as that. And indeed, Liquid have roughly $2,000 on most people. Alicia's there with 2,800. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's like, if there's value in dropping an AK there or something. He'd be left with a Glock and like a flashbang, but he's going to buy the UMP, and it'll be 4 Tech 9s on the rest of the team. So
that's like one of the situations where sometimes I wonder if, like, in the player's perspective, it's like, well, we got a 5 versus 3 advantage, looking pretty good. But imagine how good it would look if it was a 5 versus 2 advantage. I can handle this. I can do this. Insane, man. That's crazy. But can they survive the Tech 9s, James?
Who knows? They've made their way through the grenades, and the CT's got to get caught off completely off guard, doing massive damage. Look at all the red in the bars. And he's the man in the right position. Team Liquid, they'll feel compelled to push this site now. They are stuck behind the smoke, and DD is just wrecking fools at the moment. Twist with 29 HP, the last man standing. How much can he expect to do from this position? Not much, because Mo will deny him. We are headed to overtime number N.
James, I bet you Moses is loving this.
Maybe he is.
I mean, he's absolutely loving this.
He may well be. He may well be.
Oh, all right. So again, I feel like overtime is often the big reset button for a lot of teams. I think you have all these rounds in regular time where your decision making, or rather, rounds which are won and lost, can really impact your economy, and there's a lasting effect. There's momentum and so on. But when there's an overtime, the momentum's broken, generally speaking, or in a large part at least, and the money's reset. You get to play with all the guns. So this should be a great opportunity here for Liquid to right the ship, as we see immediate pressure from 3 players from TyLoo onto Banana.
There we go. Nice aggressive smoke grenades from the CT side. That's what we needed earlier, but it's somebody to get picked off
in the
that rare apartments push. Guess what? Didn't work out.
Dude, he's going for it now. He's like, it worked, guys. It worked. Let's go. Like, I'm going to take more aggressions here. But this is a good way to actually deal with losing someone early. They actually are able to play 3 on A now. They've got that deep banana control. Liquid have to make a decision here and either try to challenge that smoke and basically see that TyLoo taking a gamble and just challenge the smoke because they have time, or just go for the push on the site.
And it will be the latter. Mo making his way towards the library, but he's smoked off from his teammates who are both on the site. And you see it's just Bedlam once again. Everybody charging all over the place. Mo unable to get that kill. I thought he was dead on, but unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. That leaves DD alone. That was, the second last push with the AWP was fun, but the apartments one, not sure about that.
Yeah, it's very, very aggressive. Yeah,
I mean, if he does that and it works, it probably breaks Liquid's brains as human beings.
Yeah, I think that would set them on tilt.
Yeah.
I think that would be a massive tilt.
So, not saying it's right or wrong, but it's dangerous.
I mean, if you know your opponent super well, right, and you know that if it works, like, let's say it's got like a 30% chance to work or something, or 25% chance, and you're like, but if it does, it's going to tilt the entire team. And
he could win the half by making that play. He could win the whole half.
That's like, that is something that is a thing that could happen, but it's like you never want to play like that. You never want to take your risks like that. But you're right.
I want to see it. I want to see it work. I want the Bedlam. Anyway, TyLoo will have little issue buying in this particular round. Mo though, AWP, no helmet. Not that it's necessary versus AKs. Everybody else will invest in the helmets, and they've got no money left after this TyLoo. If they lose this round, if you go 0-2, you probably go 0-3. I think that's safe to say in most cases for CT overtimes. So this is a very important round for their survival in this match. Mo again has been left on his own in B. DD is going back and forth though. He's got a flashbang as well, and DD he can theoretically flash into pool while his teammate's facing.
I like the different setup from TyLoo too. I don't think they've run like a 3-man quad setup before, or like 3 towards quad. So this will be interesting to see how successful this is, as we should see Liquid actually barreling in towards the quad position. I'm not sure how heavily they'll go for a wrap or emphasize the arch side. It remains to be seen, but if they, you know, whatever number of players goes through quad side, TyLoo have a good defense set up here. The grenades actually will do a good job actually repositioning some of these players, and they have to reset up in the side. The fourth man, DD, has made his way towards A as well, so Liquid are going to be hard-pressed to make this work.
And now the frags start to come in, but somebody delivering to being covered by BnTeT in the meantime. HZ as well go 1 for 1. JDM with a lot of work to do. 1 versus 3. Surely they force him into the point of no return and take him out, or just peek him and shoot him in the face. Either one works. 16-16. A key round for TyLoo to win, as aforementioned. 3 plays surviving as well. That's a plus for them. Liquid will have no issue buying, so it's all to play for in the last round of the first half of the overtime number. I don't know how many today. It's a great start to the day. First day of Swiss matches here at the qualifier.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of overtimes, James. We seem to cast many overtimes. And we get Nitro going with a couple grenades here, just pressuring those forward spots on Banana. And trying to take that away from TyLoo for the time being. However, Mo is not too deterred. At least he will get up a shot or two first before he finally falls back and away. And I wonder whether Liquid will actually realize that Banana's for free at this point in time. Or whether they'll just play a slow approach here and just not even test it too much.
You do wonder if the lack of utility will make Liquid feel like they're going towards... They should go towards B, but Stanislaw, the leader of the team, focused on the A site, so maybe it will go unawares. Elige dialing up an arch smoke. Let's see what he's doing. Are they trying to draw CTs towards A? Because the bomb is moving back. Maybe just staying behind. No, they seem to be focusing towards Banana, so it seems it's either a split of the B bomb site or a complete fake coming in, but we've already got BnTeT rotating through towards Speedway position, so we'll see how this plays out for the Ts. I don't know if this will be heard by the CTs.
Oh, it looks like BnTeT just heard just in the nick of time there. TyLoo gets 1 frag at least. That's actually an okay result. That's workable as ED's challenged by Paul. Gets one. Oh, I think he got a dink there onto Elige through the smoke. I don't think he knows, but that's a huge amount of damage done by DD. Mo trying to finish them off now with the AWP. Somebody coming in as well from the side. And that's going to be another round for TyLoo. The B split did not work.
Yeah, it was a really nice read from TyLoo, positioning themselves in the correct areas to deal with that push. And the smoke's down at the front of the site just ended up being the death knell for Liquid in that round. TyLoo take a lead moving into the second half. It's TyLoo's turn to be on the T side now, which means they can dictate the pace with their lead. What do Liquid do in response to that? We expect aggression towards the Banana area. Double orbs from Liquid, Nitro with the AWP.
And as one of the stronger teams, this is a really big result. This would be an insanely good result for TyLoo, and it would increase their chances so dramatically, I think, should they be able to win this. As you know, 3 wins and you're through, and 3 losses and you're done. So this would certainly help them. We'll see, though. There's still a lot of play to be had, and that's a nice boost there. The flick from JDM is strong as they fall back and away. TyLoo, though, looking to respond quickly as they actually push the smoke. JDM on these angles is just scanning for these players. Can't quite find one just yet, but he might get a shoulder here from BnTeT relatively soon. Then a grenade comes out. They might push him because they saw the trajectory. They knew he was close. Very fast frag there. Stanislaw forced to action. Gets himself one before the smoke blooms. A 3 versus 4 situation is what TyLoo are left with.
3 of the 4 for the CTs on the A site. DD's got to be careful. If he pushes through, he is surely done, as there is a player with an off angle on the balcony position. DD, they will hear him on fire as well. You see Twist having a look just in case, but not overextending too much. The smoke will waste some time. There's still a minute on the clock for TyLoo, so they can relax. You see Mo, he's got the bomb and he's in short on his own, playing for picks, and he lands one and manages to escape as well. What the hell's going on?
And he spots Stanislaw too, giving up his previous positions. Twist now. He's really the X factor in this round. This off angle is so strong. We've seen him get triple kills here multiple times in the past. Can it be this round as well? There's already one. They know that he's there, or he could have dropped off. See DD checking for it. Now he drops off, and that's the power of this position. You get a frag and drop off, and the instant repositioning there, and that's going to be Twist saving the round. It's that position is the only position I've seen just repeatedly on A, where TyLoo have so much trouble dealing with it. I don't think I've seen it one time where they've actually been able to answer it well.
Yeah, and I guess they couldn't identify, TyLoo, that there were so many players towards the A site, but it was mad. Mo just in short on his own, just crab walking with the bomb. picking off a player and then managing to get back to the top of short. And I thought, what are they going to rotate? What are they going to do? But it didn't work out for them. 17-17. It's hard not to root for TyLoo because they're the underdogs. No, they've come from Chinese CS where crazy things happen. We've seen it ourselves. And they're really putting up a big fight here. The double orbs continue for Team Liquid onto Nitro and JDM. TyLoo with a full buy with 5 AKs, all the grenades they want. TyLoo have 1 tactical pause remaining. And we are soon back into things.
Right, well, yeah, 17-17 indeed. Double orbs, fun times ahead, I'm sure. That early pickoff from JDM with the boost on mid last round was pretty stellar. Ooh, that's a very deep incendiary. God damn. Throwing it all the way from top mid, I think. Interesting. It's an interesting incendiary to throw from CT's perspective because you don't really get anything from it, right? Because if you get it on the slope, like you delay them a few seconds, but then it just take the positions as per normal. And you yourself have not gained anything positionally for it. So a curious early use of an incendiary. Either way, TyLoo looking to burst out of into top mid here to force CT's back. JDM once again, you got to be careful. Caught with a smoke in his, well, just deploying a smoke, and that's going to be starting the push off for TyLoo.
Yeah, I think that repeak was insane from him. He's fast, but he's not that fast. I think we've got a crossfire and a bit for the CTs, or we did, but Twist got decapitated. Stanislaw is still there, however. Elige with a 2K in the meantime. From Library, no less. That's not an easy position to get multi-frags from. Somebody's in the graveyard, and Stanislaw's been put 6 feet under, but somebody's on his own. 1 versus 2 to keep Liquid off of match points. I don't even know if they know where Elige is. Doesn't matter. Nitro's there as well. AWP to finish things off for Liquid.
Elige just saving Liquid in that round completely. I think, obviously, if he's smoked off, or if anything like that happens, then TyLoo have a very strong chance to win the round. So big plays from Elige. Keep Liquid in this one, but it could still go to another overtime. We have a decent buy here for TyLoo insofar as the utility, or rather, sorry, the weapons are concerned. But we can see Venta is going to pick up some utility. I always would prefer to see anyone dropping the AK for Venta here, just because he's just been so beast for the TyLoo side.
He's up there with 27 kills, but for his teammates, Mo leading the charge, tied by Twist, both on 31 kills for their respective teams. Match point, Liquid. It's been a long game so far. I would love to see more.
Yeah.
I would love to see more.
And we absolutely might. The only thing is that I feel like the best way, obviously, to approach Liquid setup is by using a lot of utility, and that's just not what they have. You want to get those smokes down, those flashbangs in, and then you get the big push on when the Orps can't see anything. You just obscure the visibility. And we can see Nitro already getting a pick there towards Banana. That really commits TyLoo into this A-bomb site now. They have nothing, no vision, no presence towards B. They have to make these entries work. And there's another Orp in position. It's JDM. And there it is. He's going to connect the shot. Second one missed, though. Maybe there's a way in here. Somebody gets himself another headshot there. Elige falling towards Speedway. And all of a sudden, TyLoo!
Oh my god.
Again, that position is supposed to be so strong. The headshot angle, but heads are being popped, man.
And now Nitro is smoked off. There's a gap, though. There's a gap. The CZ. Can he get a 180 kill here? Charging into the site and looking for the upgrade. He's got it. 2 flashbangs. That's a lovely tap from Nitro. Can he clutch it? No. Somebody will stop him.
What a sick round from somebody. 4K from him. Absolutely just going completely ham on everyone's face with that AK.
I do wonder, though, about the repeats from JDM there, where there's more than one player. He takes the first one down, but he goes back to the well when they've got the superior angle. It's 2 rounds where the repeat has got him picked off, where he could have repositioned instead.
Yeah.
So that's maybe something to wonder about. That's exactly where it was, and then a lovely snap onto Elige afterwards. And I wanted to note very quickly the difference, like playing that corner. In comparison, when TyLoo were on the CT side, they've mainly, I think, had somebody with the AWP inside the library position, which is less flexible, especially when a smoke goes down. 18 apiece, 3-2, somewhat standard setup, apart from JDM being very forward. Missing the shot, however, opportunity has come and gone. TyLoo already have control of the entire Banana area with minute 30 on the clock, so that's something different here.
Yeah, I like that play from JDM, trying to kind of get momentum almost immediately into the rounds. And there are ways to make that safe, and it's sort of made safe also just by the fact that you almost never have done it as well. So unfortunately, you can't land a shot though. Would have been a big one, but alas. The thing is, well, I feel like TyLoo must realize as well that Liquid is going to the double up all the time. So again, you know, there's still very possible for them to try and just get themselves in position on B. And I think B is a very good choice against the double ops in this situation. If you get all the smokes down, you can get yourself those entry frags. Retaking with an AWP and 2 rifles, that is going to be very hard. However, Nitro might even prevent them from taking the bomb site altogether.
Yeah, and that will be a distracting force because Elige is boosted up on the flower pots. And I'd be surprised if they look for him after that initial frag. Indeed, oh, somebody running through, but Elige with the last bullet, maybe, landing the headshot, working out for a while. They have possession of construction. Stanislaw creeping in. DD on his last bullet gets a kill. So that's some revenge there. 2 on 2. DD with 16 HP, control of construction, and both CTs coming in from CT.
And Bentest is the one that you want to have in this clutch situation as well. DD alone, he's picked up the AWP, that's smart. But looks like Bentet will be the victim of an AWP himself. But there's the trade. The repositioning coming in from DD now as he tries to suggest a repositioning all the way towards the pool side. What is he going to do here? Well, he's looking at the wrong direction. This could be really unfortunate for DD. Indeed it is. Twist able to better him, outsmart him in this situation. I do like that DD committed there. He actually took a position where he's saying, I am just going to commit and just hope and pray that the opponent comes in this direction. I mean, he could take another position, yes, but whatever you do, as long as it's committed, that's the most important thing.
Everybody looking focused. Liquid in the lead. And that, again, that's a key. When you buy double ops on a CT side first round of overtime, you definitely want to win that first round in the numbers as well. So Liquid continuing with 2 towards B at the beginning of the round. They're going to have that third person to throw the smoke grenade and then rotate. They'll be content with 3. JDM's gone for a push for apartments as well with the AWP. Maybe a taste of TyLoo's medicine. We'll see who gets the dosage once they come through. For now, everybody's static. Who's the closest person? It's somebody. He's just waiting. He's just standing on a corner of the wall. Somebody's actually expecting somebody in apartments. That's really hard sentence to say based on his name, but there's still no push just yet. Nitro boosted. They must have heard the scope. You can see TyLoo, they're looking for the boost. They're looking for plays towards that, so looking for the boost. They seem to know everything that. Yeah,
and they've fallen victims to these kinds of plays before. Like, we can't forget how many rounds these guys have actually played at this point. So nearing on 40, so they've got some experience as to how Liquid are playing and vice versa as we get a defensive smoke from Liquid to slow down the push. But TyLoo may consider just holding up and pushing B at some point anyway. They don't have any presence towards top mid. And that's only more of an indicator, I would say, to Team Liquid that TyLoo aren't going to go A because they don't have presence there. And this is, so you can see they're making an information play right now. We've got Stanislaw pushing top mid, and Liquid need to rotate immediately. They probably should have rotated. Let's see if it's fast enough because in comes the push from TyLoo.
Elige charging out of nowhere. Always good for a second kill with Elige, but 3 very fast kills coming the way of Liquid. But there's a flank coming in on Banana from Stanislaw. He can stop the bomb from going down. There's no cover. There are 14 seconds left. How do they do it? Now they've got to win this duel. And indeed they will. The smoke's still down, but now it's gone. Twist opting for an off angle. He wants to stop them crossing. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. It's too late. It's too late. He missed the chance. He's standing in the fountain. He's got a block in the fountain.
Feels bad. Feels bad for DD. And for the rest of TyLoo, that is a big 2-round lead at this point for Liquid. Second overtime. Will they be able to pull this one out the bag? Or will we see TyLoo coming back in with some clutch power? I'm expecting a fast A play from TyLoo at this point. I feel like that is just that pace, that turn of pace. Get Bentet in there, get somebody in there, get DD in there in these positions where they can be very aggressive. Might be the change of pace that they need here to get back into the game.
JDM still aggressive. I think that was all the way down mid. He was in apartment for ages in the previous round, but eventually backed off towards the balcony, but still looking down the hall. Growing with confidence. He's on some Ares mode, God of War nonsense. Now he's holding an angle on Boiler. Everything getting quiet. Twist in this faithful position. Can't cover JDM from that angle though, so JDM really has to be careful with his repositioning. So that's a free kill for TyLoo. After losing the previous round in part to human error, that's a way back into the half. That balcony position still a problem, but JDM getting picked off towards short certainly helps. Stanislaw moving before shooting, but he won't miss a second shot. Bomb spotted as well, and he's got the angle back. The flashbang will force him away. He'll go for his timing shot, won't quite land it. And there is the another kill for him. I thought it was a bomb carrier, but no, it's Bentet carrying the bomb, going through the smoke, but nothing doing. 3 match points for Liquid.
Just one more round for Liquid, just one more. That's all they need to close this down and end the nightmare, which I feel like this could be a nightmare for them, or feel like a nightmare at this point, because I'm sure that they would have expected to have ended this game much earlier. So TyLoo, though, they seem like, if I'm not going to lie here, they seem like a bunch of fighters, man. They're fighting tooth and nail right now. They're scrapping as hard as they can to try to grind out these rounds, and no matter the situation, they're trying their best to get back into this one. And they're not, I mean, it's only 3 rounds. It's only 3 rounds. We've seen them do it on that T side. That CT side, sorry. So
you have to wonder though if they are brave enough to take the risks that somebody took on their previous City comp. Now they're against 3 match points. Or Mo, he could really get something done with this spam if he finds the right angle. Did he see the boost? I think he did. Nitro gets taken down. Looking for the second player. The repeats are not working out for the Orpas most of the time, but they retain the man advantage. Second player rotating towards Banana. Somebody in apartments once again. Lovely stuff. Great to see.
But that is one interesting thing that we can maybe go back to in a moment. The apartments and how it's changed on the new Inferno. Perhaps in the Asian Counter-Strike, you get much more apartments play from the CT side. You just don't, and we can explain that why in a moment, as we have Liquid up top middle now, looking for an entry back into the rounds. TyLoo. 2 members on the A sites, and they are in proximity too, so they can help each other out. JDM looking for the pick here. This is very dangerous. JDM is the guy to open this one up. Misses the shot though, announces his presence. Out comes the Tech 9.
He's still going back. What's he doing? That's so dangerous. They didn't have time. Oh, DD, look at this positioning. This is exquisite. He's in CT spawn. He's by the well. But it's Twist. He's the thirsty one, looking for some water, but he will be left. It was a mirage. All that's there is rifles. So that's 1 of 3 tests out of the way for TyLoo. They keep the AWP into this round. They survive with 3 players. Liquid on the full rebuy. Twist will drop the AWP, and away they go. It is very interesting to watch the CT aggression from somebody, and if it will continue in each round.
No, absolutely, and it is like the apartments. It may be that in Asia you get a lot more play there, and the reason why CTs don't find success there, or why it's not as good as it used to be, is because the corridor is a bit more open and there's no bedroom to play off of. So it's just harder to run setups there. And also the windows is a bit more open as well on the balcony itself. So it's just generally a worse risk than it used to be for the CTs to try to make setups there. And well, TyLoo, they found some success in this match so far on it. Looking to try to take these angles towards top middle. From Arch side, 4 members quick to respond towards A if needed for TyLoo at the moment, as Liquids are playing quite patiently, trying to see if there is to be any aggression, perhaps fearful of somebody's antics.
JDM was left to have a look towards Banana. Nothing seen just yet. They know where the AWP is now, but they don't know if there's 1 or 2. Team Liquid. JDM watching the bottom of mid. But it seems that the focus is A, and Bentet's rotating back towards the B bomb site, maybe just in case, because DD is moving towards Banana, and now DD's made a successful push. Bentet's rotating back, and it looks like he might get back in time. That smoke will soon disappear on the Arch position, looking for somebody towards the graveyard, but it's taken down towards the site. We've got flashbangs all over the place, but the frags are coming in for the T side.
This could be it right now for Liquid. They only need this round. DD's coming in faster from Quadside. What can he do? What can he offer here for TyLoo? It's just Mo to offer anything. He creates a 1 versus 3 for himself, but there's just too much to handle. And finally, Liquid will be able to make it happen, but it took 2 overtimes against TyLoo.
22-19, that was some UFC level match of Counter-Strike. Quite the slobber knocker, and I really feel for TyLoo because they had that round in overtime on their T side where they had a 2 versus 1. It was awkward though, people were low health, they had to cross back into the site. Twist had the angle, and they just waited too long to do it. Were stuck inside the fountain with the bomb and lost by a timeout. That was brutal, and that's, I think, made it too much to ask, going 0